Morning, everybody. I'm so glad all of you are here with me today. We are going to be royalty. Do you guys know what that is? That's right. Kings and queens and knights and princesses and all of those fun, magical things. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and start with our good morning song, our hello song. You ready? We clap and sing hello. We clap and sing hello. In our homes at story time, we clap and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. In our homes at story time, we wave and sing hello. We stomp and sing hello. We stomp and sing hello. In our homes at story time, we stomp and sing hello. Good job. All right, if you guys want to go ahead and take a seat, I will get right into my first book. It is called Do Princesses Really Kiss Frogs? What happens when a princess kisses a frog? What's supposed to happen? Do you know? If you said the frog turns into a prince, that's right. That is one of the little things that they say can happen for a princess and a frog. Do you think you'd kiss a frog? I don't think I would kiss a frog. Let's get into this book and see what they have to say. Daddy, what do princesses wear on a hike? Well, as long as it's sensible, they wear what they like. How does she carry her water and snack? She carries her things in her favorite backpack. What does she see when she looks in the creek? Well, hold my hand and take a peek. Daddy, do princesses really kiss frogs? They'd much rather kiss their very own dogs. No kissing frogs today. Do princesses stop to smell the flowers? Why, yes, of course. They've been known to do that for hours and hours. What if a bee lands on the end of her nose? Well, the bee must have thought that her nose was a rose. Will she meet a dragon when she comes around the bend? Oh, that would be fun for us all to pretend. Do princesses keep all the rocks that they find? Maybe we'll ask if the ranger would mind. I don't think so. Do princesses like to climb on the boulders? I think you'd see better from the top of my shoulders. What do we have up here? Do you guys see? That's right, it's a beautiful baby bird. What if a princess gets hungry and tired? You see her sweating. The dog looks tired too. They're just about at the top of the hill. Well, then I'd say a treat and a rest are required for you. Do princesses dangle their toes in the river? I don't know about you, but I love to do that if they don't mind getting a bit of a shiver. Will princesses get to see rabbits and deer? You never know what they might see and hear. Daddy, is that a real cowboy hiking this way? As real as this princess with me here today. Oh, Daddy, look at the view. There's something about it that reminds me of you. The end. Beautiful book. Do you guys like to pretend to play and be things that you aren't? Me too. What kind of things do you guys like to pretend to be? Maybe dragons, roar, or giants stomping, or queens and kings? I actually have a little play along that I want to do with you guys. And as I read the rhymes, I'm going to hold up the pictures and I would like you guys to tell me what you see. Okay? It kind of goes on a play of Polar Bear, what do you see? If you guys remember that book, it's a very good one. You should check it out if you don't. So it starts out with, that's right, princess, very good. So it's princess, princess, what do you see? Well, I see, that's right, a unicorn looking at me. Unicorn, unicorn, what do you see? Well, I see, that's right, a fairy looking at me. Now, fairy, fairy, what do you see? Well, I see a dragon roaring at me. Oh no. Dragon, dragon, what do you see? Well, I see a wizard peeking at me. Wizard, wizard, what do you see? Well, I see a knight who's going to rescue me. Sir Knight, what do you see? Well, I see my entire kingdom looking at me. He's going to save them all from the dragon. Very good. Let's go through the characters one more time. Can you do that with me? We have a princess. Very good. We have a unicorn. Very good. And what do we have over here? A fairy. Yes. And this? A dragon. Can you roar like a dragon? Roar. Do you breathe fire or ice? I think I'd breathe fire. And we have, what do we have here? A wizard and a knight. Very good. So the last book I have for you guys today is called Once Upon a Goat. A goat. Interesting. Let's see what this goat has to tell us in the story. What do we have here? That's right, a king and a queen. And what do we see up here? A mommy bird feeding her baby birds. That's right. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, a king and a queen wished for a child. Yes, but where would we put it? Asked the king. Next to the vase on the hearth, of course, replied the queen. Or beside the roses in the garden, the king added. Oh, yes, that's perfect, agreed the queen. One day, their fairy godmother stopped by for a visit. You see the fairy, just like in the poem we had? Tell me what you desire, she asks. Well, we'd like to start a family, said the king. We're not particular, said the queen. Glowing skin, bright eyes, and hair like ocean waves should do. Said the fairy godmother. A boy would be great, added the king, but any kid will do. Of course, answered the fairy godmother. Look on your own doorstep when the moon is full. So, at the next full moon, the king and queen ran to the door. Let it be a boy, said the king. With hair like ocean waves, said the queen. What do you think was on their doorstep? Bah, said the goat. A goat was on their doorstep? I wanted a baby, cried the queen. It's my fault, wailed the king. I said any kid would do, but I never meant this. Did you guys know that a baby goat is called a kid? Interesting fact. Reluctantly, the king and queen brought the little beast into their home. Look on the bright side, said the king. We can still hold it like a baby. It has a goatee, replied the queen. We need to change its diapers, said the queen. That's disgusting, replied the king. P.U. At least it loves the royal roses, said the king. That's it. I've had it. It has to go, commanded the queen. The goat's eating our flowers. But what are they going to do with the goat? Looks like he got put outside. I guess we're better off now, said the queen sadly. A stand had to be taken for the roses, replied the king. Of course, said the queen. That night it rained. It rained very hard. It's not our fault we were given a goat, said the queen. Not our fault at all, added the king. And yet I wondered if we were right to send the little fellow away on such a blustery night. Clearly he lacks the good sense to find shelter. I suppose he could come in just for a bit to dry off. He looks hungry too, said the king. Maybe he could share a nibble or two from our meal. Looks like he's eating their flowers again. It's late. We can hardly send him away now, said the queen. He shall have to stay in our room for the night. It's only for the night, said the king. Do you see the smiles on their faces? I think somebody's starting to like their goat. One night turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and it looks like they're all living very happily together. Before long, their fairy godmother returned for a visit. She wanted to know how everything was. Wonderful, replied the king and queen. Perfect. May I see the child? Um, isn't he darling? Said the king. A blessing, added the queen. You must be joking, said the fairy godmother. It's a goat. Um, she didn't mean to do that on purpose, maybe? Yes, left on the doorstep when the moon was full, just like you said. Uh-oh, said the fairy godmother. I'll be back. Oh dear, there's a baby with the goats. This is for the best. Really? She takes the baby. And the goats look kind of sad. My sincere apologies for the misunderstanding. I'll just return the goat, and that will be that. Wait, said the queen. Perhaps there is an alternative, said the king at last. Yes, I see your point, said their fairy godmother. Do you see the baby and the goat? What do you think the alternative is? That's right. The goats get to come and live with the king and queen and their new baby. And of course, well, said the king, not exactly the family we wished for. No, replied the queen, it's even better. The end. What did you guys think of that book? It would be crazy to get a goat, you're right, but it does sound fun. I think a goat would make a great pet, but I don't know about a baby. So if you guys come in and get your grab and go bags, I'm going to have crowns in there for all of you and your own jewels to put on there. And of course, a fancy ring that you can eat and a few other little trinkets as well. They'll be available for pickup tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And you can either call in and let us know you're coming, or you can actually come into the library now. So we hope to see you there. All right. Until next week. Goodbye, guys.